Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes are fleeing Quinntown under attack by the Greywater Legion. Juniper gave a terrifying inspirational speech as echo. Quinny ambushed some zombie herders and gave his invisibility ring to his daughter. And Butthole gave Crendan a hammer as they took up position at the back of the convoy. Can the town survive the journey back to the Fortress of Forlorn Hope? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Emerging from the mist and steam of the ice storm that Juniper had called down from the sky, the wagon train of Cornucopia, the town of Plenty, now known as Quinton, begins its long, fateful trek north towards the Fortress of Forlorn Hope. Having managed to kill a couple of the herdsmen and evade the zombie horde for now, the long column begins its perilous trek. There are zombies, of course, still out and wandering, but it's an eerily silent sort of late afternoon as you continue to roll along. There's something kind of horrible to the sound of the wheels crunching. Sort of gravel, sticks, twigs, that sort of thing. Because they're, after all of the literal fire crackling kind of behind you in the distance and all the noise, there's just an eerie silence kind of sitting over the survivors and the so far as everyone, but you know what I mean. And the vehicles. Is there anything the three of you touch base on or do before you reach kind of the next junction?
Butthole would journey up to the front of the convoy from where he'd been at the back with Crendan and just be like, yeah, so awkward thing. If we're kind of in a race, I just realized that we left all the barricades up at the gates at Treesbury. So we can't like sprint through there. I don't really have a solution for that. I just wanted to note that that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time. We can either go around or try to go through if we can figure out a fast way to get that thing open. I have no ideas. We didn't bring any explosives, did we?
I don't know. Oh, man, we're not going to be able to find her because she's invisible. Jenny! He just yells thaumaturgically so that it like...
You hear someone swear and stumble just to your left, holding it, and Ginny slaps the ring off, holding her ears, just kind of looking back at you in horror. Like, yeah, Uncle Butthole, what?
Yeah, we got to figure out like a whistle or something that can call you. So you were in that town of Treesbury, and we left all the barricades up, and we kind of need to go through there. So
yeah.
No, in those or something.
Yeah, no, I set up. I set up some ways to take those out. Sure.
You did?
Yeah. Just I mean, not explosives for those ones, but just there's a couple of quick pulleys I set up that crack it open. I mean, look, those gates weren't really meant to hold out anything but livestock. They're pretty easy to get through. I just made it look like he was super. Yeah. Just made it look like he was super beefed up, so people wouldn't fuck with it. But yeah, you can flick a couple things and it'll pop right open.
Oh wow, Quinny, she's like you plus math. Like she might be better at this than you.
I think so. Tell me how this works, so we can just know in advance and we'll get it.
So she explains that there's basically a couple of like mechanisms hidden amongst kind of the barricade trash. Mm-hmm. You can almost think of it as a lot of the barricading has been set up against this gate. She essentially freed up the slot the gate needs to open, so it can swing out now, carrying most of the barricade with it. If it's doesn't just like swing open shut, but easy enough to drag the whole thing, because she basically affixed the entire barricade to the gate. So the gate looks barricaded. It is barricaded as long as it's closed, but there are a couple latches she tells you about and a couple pulleys that will help kind of like, when released, pull the gate outward.
Okay. All right. So then that's what you and I will take care of then. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
Keep that invisibility ring on and active. You stay invisible while you do this. We want to be quick and quiet and stealthy.
Yeah. So we'd probably only want you guys to get out there and do that like when we're about 10 minutes away, right? Because we don't want to risk you guys being convoy free.
Check your watches.
Uh-oh. What's a watch?
I don't know. God told you about it. You should like that.
Oh, yeah, watch.
Yes. No, sorry, that wasn't Ginny. That was Tom, the DM, saying you're here. You're 10 minutes
cool.
out.
Then go open it up so we can just trundle in.
I'm sorry, I was unclear about that. I don't often have to play two party members constantly, but here we are. So you can see the edge of the tree line not that far away. You recall that, I think Butthole, for sort of the tactical analysis that you've applied, this is about the right time to send them up ahead.
All right, so you guys go do that. We'll stay here and keep the convoy moving.
All right, let's go. And I'll have my eye of true sight active so I can still keep an eye on Ginny even though she's invisible. That feels the safest to me.
Roll a stealth check.
Ooh, it was almost a 20.
That'll only make it like a 35.
17.
17?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you almost rolled a 20.
That was what we almost saw.
Almost, yeah.
I almost rolled a 20 and then it landed on 2.
Oh,
so
it landed on
17.
2. So, right, of
2
course.
takes him to a 17.
How the... Okay.
Plus 15. Again, very good at specific things. Once again, please, no insight checks for me, okay? No athletics.
Oh, man, you're going to hate this gate. It's just an athletic insight.
Don't ask me about Arcana or history.
I mean, at least yours are like useful. I have +8 on charisma saving throws. I don't think I've ever used a charisma saving throw in my life.
Good, because a lot of those are usually like, now you're enthralled to me. Like those are like one-way trips.
Yeah, you wait until Petra McFucksalot comes after us, and you're going to be the only one who can resist her.
No. You already did the Strahd campaign, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so you, the both of you make your way up to the gate. She didn't roll tremendously well either, but it means that she's actually doing about as well as you, which is like real cool for her. But she makes sure to like drop a pebble from her full height so you can see like the visual cue of her being there. So just like a random stone kind of like floats up and drops.
I can see her.
Oh, you're using True Sight.
Yeah,
but she
I
doesn't
don't know that she knows that.
Oh, okay. I'll say, stop that. Just try and be as sneaky as possible. I can see you.
She like moves behind a post and kind of peeks out.
You're behind the post.
How can you do?
We will talk about this later, but we have some important shit to do.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I thought it was. Oh, God damn it. And with a sort of series of frustrated noises that you know all too well, she goes to work on kind of her side of it. Quinny, I'm not going to make you roll for this. These are now that you know what you're looking for. They did look like junk. Like I'm thinking kind of in terms of like Mad Max style barricades. It's like it's hard to tell what's barricade and what's actually functional. But with her instructions, you're able to find it pretty quickly. And Butthole, you're relieved to see the gate creakily kind of swinging open as the convoy approaches. Quinny, are you and Ginny heading back to join the convoy, or are you going in?
We're going back.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So the two of you make your way back, meet back up. We're in the same marching order, I assume?
Yeah.
Well, at the head, yeah.
Butthole gone back to the back to make sure they're covered.
All right, amazing. So the convoy begins to roll into Treebury. Quinny, can you roll me a perception check, please? Moss, you can as well.
Ooh, right on.
Perception 19.
19? Yep.
17.
17. Okay. The place is eerily quiet, but it smells worse than the last time you were through here. And you begin to hear moans as rather faster moving zombies begin to just spill out of the woods on either side. And upon closer inspection, you can see that the walls have actually been broken around the exterior, and it would seem that more of the undead have been let in. What do? You have sort of a moment to react. This is not until they're like on you, but just you have kind of a couple seconds.
I'll shout to the back and say, Butthole, we need your anti-undead thing ready. And I'm going to jump off the front and sprint to the gate at the other end of town to get that ready to open.
Great. Ginny will go with you. So the two of you kind of like sprint to the other edge of town as the zombies begin to pour in. Juniper, what are you doing?
We still have, I think I'll go to Butthole. Like, we still have the cart, right? With the bell.
Yes! Unless you ran the convoy. I'm imagining you're yelling to me down the convoy, and I'm like, wait a second, and then I give us a thaumaturgical cell phone so we could talk. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I've got it back here.
Well, I mean, would now be a good time to deploy it?
Except it's at the back of the convoy, and the zombies are in front of the convoy, so I would be summoning all the zombies through the convoy.
Yeah, but like, no. Like, we move the, like, wagon, like, off to the side, like, way away, and then, like, someone stays back and starts, like, hammering it to get them all to, like, one side of the town so we can just, like, sneak on by.
Okay, that's actually kind of clever. Butthole, lean out of the wagon. Tom, is there, like, an open path, or would we have to drive it through zombies to be able to use the thing?
To get the bell wagon?
Yeah.
To get the bell wagon ahead of you, you'd have to drive it through.
I don't think it's going to be possible based on our convoy layout.
Sorry, I was doing something. Your goal is to get the bell into the middle of town?
No, we were trying to get the bell off-road to somewhere where it can, like, summon zombies away from people. But zombies are coming in from both sides of town, right?
I mean, you could, like, roll it back down the hill, but the zombies are kind of, like, unfortunately, you have very much moved into the mouth of this.
Yeah,
We're
surrounded, so I'd be drawing half of them away, and the other half would be more excited attacking you.
On that note, Juniper, what's your AC?
My AC is 21.
21. All right. So as you continue to talk on your thaumaturgical cell phone, a shadow passes over you, and then lands on you, screaming, as an orc in a blue and yellow jumpsuit, wearing a smiling, like a yellow smiley face mask, lands on you in the chair and just brings a great axe down in two huge swings onto you. So Juniper, you're going to take 8 and 12, so 20 points of slashing damage.
Oh, butts.
As this guy rains hell down on you.
I say, oh, butts.
Yeah, no, I bought that.
Says, the fuck?
And he just kind of turns his head at a 45-degree angle and he says, "Time for your happy meal." At which point the other fries engage. So let's get initiative, please.
Yeah. Yeah. 9.
12.
16.
Ryan, you had 12?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Man, I am rolling trash on initiative. That's a mighty stack. All right, Quinny, you're up first. After the surprise round, the zombies are roughly one turn away from the wagon, and you can see movement in the general store and the saloon. To refresh your memory, heading north, the general store will be on your left. The saloon will be on your right. General store is where Ginny was camping. Saloon was relatively empty aside from the morgue upstairs. There was also the bell tower, which has collapsed. So that whole area is just kind of rubble now. You're up near the gate on the north end. There are also those stalls that now are kind of at the northmost edge, kind of where you are. So you do have some cover. Unfortunately, the gate is down, as you would expect, and you can see movement in the upper floors of both the saloon and the general store.
Okay, then I whisper to Ginny, I need you to very quietly and carefully open this gate and then get somewhere safe and hide.
Sure, yeah, don't worry. I put traps all over the place. They're totally going to fall into them. I've got explosives. I've got like nail traps. It's going to get them. Every time they open a door, they're going to get completely fucked.
Be careful, okay? These guys are dangerous.
Yeah, well, they're going to be less dangerous when my nail traps get them. But all right, I'll get to work. Don't worry about me. I got this.
I'm going to the saloon.
Okay. So I assume stealthily?
Yeah.
Give me that roll, baby.
Try and get the drop on.
Literally, anytime I'm asking you to roll for stealth at this point, I'm trying to figure out how much of a ghost you are, and or did you roll a 1 and somehow like step on a squeaky toy or something? Because I don't think there's really there's no range anymore.
And then do you re-roll that 1 and also get a 1? The minimum he can roll on stealth is 7 fucking teen.
Jesus Christ. Yep.
Yeah.
If it's not a natural 1, then yeah, it's 17.
Love it. Love that.
In this case, it's 33.
Okay, well, let me roll for the Happy Meal and see if they... Oh, what do you know? What do you know? They don't. They can't see that. Nothing can see that. No one has ever seen that. This is impossible to see. All right, so Quinny, you managed to stealth your way over to the saloon. Peeking in through the front door, you can definitely see that stuff's been moved around. They've just kind of thrown some tables and stuff down in front of the front doors. They're clearly trying to like make it not as easy to get in, but they didn't know they were dealing with Quinny Brownbarrow. So getting over that, you can hear heavy footsteps upstairs, and you just hear sort of a gruff voice say, "Strong Boris has engaged. Make sure you're in position, Phantom. We're going to need all the help we can get."
I'm going to follow that voice and try to stab the owner of the voice while watching out for traps.
Amazing. So what's your, can you roll me a perception check for the traps?
While he's rolling, interesting fact, the odds of rolling 2 1s in a row on a d20 are 1 in 400. So 1 in 400 times, theoretically, Quinny will fail a stealth check.
All right. Season 22,
in
baby.
a row, though, that one time on the lockpick. Like my time is coming up for my double 1s or triple 1s or whatever awful thing might happen. 12 and perception, 17.
17. All right. They haven't laid traps. You get the sense that this was really
I'm also looking out for Ginny's traps.
Oh, fair enough. Yes. I think you would have already. I think you mentioned stripping those because Butthole wanted copper wire. So Ginny's traps are all taken care of. You guys spent enough time in Treebury digging around to have disabled those. No new traps have been laid. If we think about the chronology of this, by the time Chickless Nage, the Chaos Mage, could have found out about where you guys were and what was going on, like that's as much time as you had to prepare as how much time they've had to prepare. So they're also scrambling, as you can tell from like the half-assed, like I flipped a table in front of a door. It's like, I did it. So it does bring you a little bit of like a little bit of comfort, at least, that you're on somewhat equal footing. There might be traps, but they still have to kind of play by the same rules. Okay.
Then I am making my way upstairs.
Phenomenal. So you get upstairs and you can see a sort of a large, like a guy who really fills out these blue and yellow jumpsuits. Think Fallout, like just kind of that style of jumpsuit. So much bigger, wearing kind of like big armored shoulder pads. And he's got just sort of a big fucking massive like two-handed sword hanging off his belt. And very much in charge. He's got the happy face mask flipped up on top of his head, clearly not quite trucking that bullshit. And is, to your surprise, speaking into the equivalent of a thaumaturgical cell phone. He seems to have literally like a conch shell that he's holding up to his ear and just being like barking orders into. And beside him is clearly kind of like an underling of some sort, who is has a crossbow that he's aiming at the baggage train through the window. What do you do? I'll say like movement's clearly burnt, but like you have an action, so you can still get in there if you want. This is all like, again, Treebury isn't very large, so I would buy that you've been able to kind of cover this amount of ground.
Yeah. Okay.
But You're at the top of the stairs. They're a little ways away from you. What do you do?
If that guy is aiming a crossbow, I'm assuming he's like at a window.
Yeah. They're both looking out though. The commander is clearly like observing the battlefield and calling the plays. The other guy is clearly the like keep people off the commander guy. Okay.
Well, second verse, same as the first. Let's push them out the window with repelling blast.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Like that the minor utility that gets like tacked on to the edge of an Eldritch Blast has become
using
the
it
feature.
so much more. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when Fortnite was like, yeah, I don't know. We made a multiplayer mode for our like cool co-op game.
And okay. So the first one is +8, 26 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
Adds another 26 to hit.
Also will hit.
Great. 2 damage on the leader and 3 damage on the one known as Phantom, but they both get pushed 10 feet out that window.
All right. And I'm sorry, how much to Phantom?
3.
3? All right.
Yeah.
So you just have enough time to hear the chief say, yes, it's all going according to plan. As he's just like, they're both blasted face first through the window. It's not elegant. Like, it's not that Scott Pilgrim jump we're talking about earlier. The war chief like bashes his face off the top of the window pane as he goes through, causes him to like pinwheel down into the crowd. And you hear Phantom just like yelp as his crossbow goes flying, him following. Incidentally, if the chief had been wearing his happy face mask, it actually would have helped a lot. Further proof as to why you got to tell Ginny about helmets later. So they crash down into the wagon train. And
so where exactly is the wagon train in town, Tom?
I didn't know the wagons had arrived yet. Okay.
Yeah, because Juniper's there. So you guys went in. Wagon train was rolling in after you. Mm-hmm. The zombies started to come out, but that wasn't a huge issue. So I'm imagining the wagon
front wagon is just hitting the saloon general store. So
yeah, exactly. Like basically, it's. I mean, also just for the sake of the combats and the narrative structure, like they built this specifically as a honey. A honey pot, right? Like, come on in, open that gate, come on in, it's great. Zombies, aerial assault. Unfortunately, they weren't, prepared for the ghost of Tashima over here. Yeah, exactly. No one's prepared for a Quinny. So they both kind of bounce off that. It's one of those awkward things where suddenly they're on top of the carts, and all the farmers kind of turn at them and are like, well, hang on there. No. Hey, it's raining bad guys. And they just start like harrying them with their weapons. They can't really hurt them, but they can definitely poke at them. So it's rapidly becoming like a James Gunn action sequence of people scrambling as inconveniences happen to them. Bring us to.
I just chuckled.
Laughing.
I was literally just me chuckling.
That's nice. Brings us to the war chief. He's mad and
uses
hurt.
his movement to fall out of a window.
Yeah, so he's gonna kind of get up, but I'm gonna count this as difficult terrain because he's getting poked by like sharp things. So he's gonna try and make it across. I am gonna roll an athletics check for him to get across the start, like basically running across the wagon train. Probably to the north, trying to get away from where he can see like the golden glimmering butthole like waiting for him. If you see a golden glimmering butthole, everyone just run away from it. Run away.
Or say hello, new friend, if you're not a piece of shit.
Touche. I mean, this guy does a lot of charity work, but he's also a horrible mercenary who's intent on killing all these civilians. So I mean, moral gray.
Yeah, like what charities is he supporting? I don't.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. So he runs. He does succeed his athletics check. Surprise, surprise. He kind of runs, leaps, falls into a shoulder roll, comes up, pulls his mask down, and just like lets out a mighty war cry, where he just yells, don't forget to supersize them, boys. And everyone else yells in like acknowledgement, which means you hear people yelling from the second floor of the general store where they are clearly hiding. And then you hear some swearing from up there. And he's wearing like the watchman mask. So it's not, you can't tell what's going on beneath it, but you can definitely see a slightly disappointed, kind of like, these fucking guys. And that, I believe, is his. So that's his. Right. So I've done his movement, done his minor, and he's going to take a big old swing at. I guess Juniper, you're the only one up there. He's not going to attack the carts. You're the scariest looking person in the vicinity.
Oh no!
Sorry, Juniper.
No.
Didn't know
So
I was
he's
dropping
got-
into your lap like that.
He's got advantage from his from the other guy who's already
And I got
engaged.
2 guys on me now.
Yeah, you got Strong Boris,
Fuck.
and you've
Oh,
you've
Strong
got,
Boris is blue, yellow pants.
So they're all in blue and yellow, but
they all are, okay.
Strong Boris has his like wrapped around his waist, like like a sexy firefighter.
Yeah, nice.
So he's gonna go for a swing, big old swing. He's got advantage. He can't attack twice because he fell out a window, which sucks for him. He will hit.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll like kind of do that weird bubbly thing with my face, unsettle
yeah.
visage to
okay.
give him disadvantage on the attack.
All right, I'll re-roll it then, because that'll neutralize the advantage. He misses. So he goes to swing. You do the bubbly face thing.
Just like, scared little fucker, aren't you? And then
and yeah, he just yells, "Oh, what the fuck is? Oh no!" And kind of like steps back into that double hand samurai sword position, except it's like a giant 2-handed sword that's kind of more slab of metal than sword. But yeah, you definitely put the fear of God on him. Honestly, he's having a shit day. He planned a cool little ambush, and then some invisible guy blasted him out a window. He wasn't invisible, but felt like it. Blew him out a window, and now someone's got a spooky face. So generally speaking, not his best day. Bringing us to all right, the guy who jumped on Juniper. Juniper, does that count for your whole turn, or is that just in reaction to one attack?
no, it's only a reaction. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. So Strong Boris sees it. Strong Boris does not care. So he's going to he just says, "Steal this one, boss." And like the chief's like, yeah, that one, scary one, kill the scary one. So he's going to rain down 2 blows at advantage.
Oh, yikes.
On you. What's your AC?
21.
All right, first one misses. Second one's a pair of 2s. I got my 400. So pair of 2s, absolutely nothing. How do you block these?
I think it gets blocked as she's drawing her sword.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's one of those
Amazing.
things like going
Yeah.
to draw and just like parries them away in like one swift stroke.
Amazing. Yeah. So you kind of knock him back. We'll say he kind of like falls backward off the chair. So now he's like standing in front of you rather than literally standing over you, like
Right.
doing the lumberjack chop down. Unfortunately, you still have the 2 of them on you. And he just says, "Still?" And the chief says, "Yeah, still." So they're going to hang out. Butthole, you are up next.
From the back of the convoy, Butthole has seen people get blasted out of windows and heard the cheer from the other side of the room. And Butthole does know relatively basic ambush tactics. So he just raises a hand from where he is at the back of the convoy and he looks to the general store where nothing has happened yet. And he looks up at that bedroom that he knows is facing outwards. And he just yells, "Hot snakes!" And he would like to actually set the butthole opening the ground on the ground floor because he gets 10 feet in diameter, 40 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
So he would like to just roast from the ground floor up through the roof and then just leave the building on fire with whoever's inside it having a bad time.
Fair enough.
I need whoever is inside it. Where are you at, Hot Snakes? They need to pass a dexterity save at DC 18.
All right, let's see how the squishy mage does on that dex save. Pro tip: not good. We'll see how the other guys do. All right, so one of them is fine, but two of them are definitely not.
Okay, so
And by fine, I mean we'll take however much horrific, like, half damage.
Okay, so they take fire damage and radiant damage because it's magical flames from the soul of, I guess, his intestines now, because it would not theoretically be hell fueled because Moonhammer's not there. So I think it's golden radiant fire, which never has been really seen before in these interactions as the new Butthammer thing, because it'll match the same like golden light that expanded out of him when he did hit the dead. So the ones who failed take 15 fire damage.
Yikes.
The ones who passed take half of that, which would be rounding down or up at 7 or 8. Your call, Tom.
Let's go with 8. There's a lot of enemies.
Great. And they also take...
Oh, no. He's helping us.
They also take 13 radiant, which becomes 7 for the people who are halved. So 28 damage total for the big guys, or for the failures, and then the others take 15.
Okay. Cool.
Or if you want to make it balance out, 14. So that's what he hits with the hot snakes. Tom, when Butthole's glancing around back here, does he see anybody that is closing in on him at the back of the convoy?
No, so far, it would seem that, like, they jumped when they had to, like, when the convoy was in. They heard Juniper talking about, like, putting everything, like, basically they heard enough to know that they had to kind of strike now. But no, there don't actually seem to be that many of them. There's a bunch, but it's not like, 50 orcs come like running out of the woods screaming. And this tracks with how you understand the Fries, right? And the Fries who would remain loyal to this cause is, a lot of the Fries have specialty techniques. Some of them work in small units. But the goal was always to kind of give Potatoes sort of the maximum amount of like different utility squads that he could apply to any particular issue. These guys you'd probably heard of. They're a classic like wet work unit from Greywater. They've been around forever with rotating members. So no, the ones you've seen and can hear are still up at the front. No one's attempting to move back, also because they'd have to get past all the farmers, who again can't hurt them, but can definitely be annoying.
Okay, yeah. So he's not expecting like somebody to close the trap from behind.
No, the zombies are in theory the rest of the trap, and I think the assumption, which is actually not incorrect, is that the convoy is too slow to back out.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Someone will likely try and do that eventually, but to get to you right now is a huge pain in the ass.
And that's why Crendan will be here. He looks to him and says, all right, you stay here. I'm going to go cause more problems. And he just jumps off the cart, and he would like to book it up the left side, the general store side of the convoy. He'll just basically, he wants to get up there to kind of distract, give an additional target. If somebody's not going to be going after Juniper, he'd rather they take a shot at him than the convoy. So
okay,
he's just yelling, I'm Butthole and you guys fucking suck.
Has that building caught fire?
Yes. So you can hear like cinders as they, because that how long does that run for, Ryan?
It creates. It just says it's a 40-foot high, 10-foot diameter cylinder. So
okay,
it's not.
So then it's a single action. So we'll say it isn't on fire, but it is smoldering. It could likely.
I was gonna say the building would fail its dex save, so it would just take 28 points of damage.
I'm saying there's like a hole in the ceiling, there's a hole in the floor, and the thing is smoking, and there are minor fires. I will say if you add accelerant, it will likely go up. Like it's like he blasted a cylinder through the middle of the building.
Got it.
Normally he would have done that to the saloon, but someone, and he's got an idea of who, threw some people out the windows. So couldn't light the booze on fire.
Smart man. This is why he tattooed Alan, was to warn her about exactly this tactic. Okay. Cool. So that was Butthole. That brings us to, and I'm sorry, Butthole, you run up to help Juniper?
He would run up. He doesn't even. I think he can't see Juniper because she's in the front wagon. He couldn't. So he's just gone up from the back to the front, the left side, the general store side of the convoy, to just be like, I'm an extra target. Don't shoot the farmers. You all hate me, not farmers.
Gotcha.
What he's thinking.
Yep, that's great.
His shield's up and his hammer's one-handed. He's aware that he's probably going to be taking some incoming whatever.
Cool. There is a furious roar from the general store. And a big fucking guy, not quite as big as Strong Boris, but like in the ballpark, smashes out the window, holding a warhammer, and he actually yells, "Forge!" And he lands on the ground next to you and stands, and he says, "We have unfinished business." And you see he's got a warhammer, and it's like a big, kind of shitty warhammer that's clearly been painted to look nice. And as he stands there, he quickly like sparks a flint against the top until eventually a little flame lights up, and he just yells, "Give me back my hammer!" And he's going to swing at you with his hammer, not understanding that it wasn't Butthole who stole his hammer. It was someone muttering "Bubhole." And in rage, he will swing his shitty facsimile with all his might. He fails horrifically. It's a bad hammer. He's also still kind of on fire. And he jumped out a window. So he's there. He's engaged with you, but he's not great. And we'll call him Half Mask because his happy face mask is like broken down.
Okay, cool.
Down the middle. He swings. He like swings at your feet. And then kind of like looks all the way up at you and he says, "Taller than I thought." Bring us to, oh God, there's so many people in that building. All right. Other guy who's on fire in the building. You hear panicked footsteps and then you just hear, "Ah!" And a guy in robes, blue and yellow robes, falls through the hole in the middle of the floor, lands, gets up, dusts himself off, kind of blows on his sleeve a few times, has to like pull the mask up to blow on his sleeve. And then he just does one of those classic like Palpatine poses where he just says and puts out his fingers in like a Palpatine-esque thing. He says, "Now I'll show you the true meaning of magic." And he's going to attempt to cast.
Sorry, I just rewrote all of Star Wars with that voice.
Power, unlimited power. God, he actually has really bad spells. So,
Thank God.
I will show you the meaning of power. 1 second, I got.
He begins casting that green tent thing that one can cast.
Hero's feast. Look out!
Liamon's tiny hut.
Eat good berry, assholes.
I will cast beast speech. Get him, birds.
The birds are just able to hear the birds say no.
All right, so he throws out his hands, does that, and slowly but surely you see sort of a green electrical energy begin to spin and sort of coagulate into a sword, but it looks like a comedy sword, like, you know, the ones in like just like the blade is far too large, like the big inflatable ones you get at the carnival. Like it's not an impressive looking sword. And he just yells, "Behold the sword of Grum!" And he's going to attack you with his spiritual weapon.
God, these guys are so lame.
Look, not everyone can be a badass.
Not you, Tom. You're great.
No, I'm well aware. I just like, I want it to be known. I want to go on record saying not every villain can be a badass. Some of them suck.
I'm still so scared.
I've actually been,
She's talking a lot of shit for Strong Boris and the War Chief 2-on-1.
I've actually been like chuckling to myself every time you say potatoes. It just makes me laugh so much.
Prepping for these, it was a great joy just listening to everyone be like, "We have to take orders from him. Gotta go beat a man." Like Tyler be like, "There was a man in the world whose name is potatoes." Just the rage in Quinny's heart. All right, so Ryan, what's your AC, bud? No,
23.
Oh, that is nasty. He does hit, but it's rough. It's rough going. So that's going to be 10 points of damage as the sword hits you with the broadside. Just a double smack. Knowing how many times you've had to poke someone in the butt with the haft of your spiritual weapon, like, you get it. Sometimes these things are hard to control, but like, at least you know what the dangerous side is. This really just seems to be like someone who has imagined a weapon and has never held one, thinking that this is how it will go.
He's still a ways back from me, right?
Yeah, he's inside. He's basically standing, like, in theory, he, like, if he was cool, he would have, like, Thor dropped into the
Instead, he fell
bottom
inside
of the cylinder.
building. And
Well, he was on the second floor where you hit him with hot snakes. So he just fell through the hole in the floor and stood up in, like, the pit of fire that had been there. And now he's standing there kind of like it's his, but it's clearly not. And his robes are still smoking and blistering. He's not that menacing. But be afraid, I guess, or something.
he did more damage than the big guy.
This is true. Juniper, you've got Strong Boris and the War Chief on you. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna go for hit both of them, hit each of them once.
Yep.
Just to try to get them the fuck back. So what I will do is I'm going to transfer +3 my bonus, which I can do, to my AC.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll last just till my next turn. But I'm going to cast Divine Smite on War Chief fucker. Because I think Strong Boris is just too much of a loser and he doesn't deserve my Divine Smite.
Divine Smite, do you have to announce that before you rolled a hit, or you get to choose to smite after you've rolled a hit?
After I rolled a hit.
Yeah, so you can just see who
I'm
you
gonna
hit
do
and
it
decide.
if it hits. It probably won't hit. That's a 14 to hit.
14 to hit. The Chief, unfortunately, does not hit.
Fucker. Okay, well, and that definitely 12 to hit Strong Boris.
And Butthole, from where he is standing, seeing two people fighting Juniper, just opens his mouth and yells, "Fuck you!" And it just sprays just this lightning bolt of like a big cone of golden light that hits Strong Boris directly in the face, just blinding him back, and it adds 10 to your roll, which I can do before he announces how a hit roll ends. So, bam, hit made.
Oh, that's lovely.
If a 24 doesn't work, I can't fucking help you.
It does. You're fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, super. Okay, so that's the second one. All right, yeah, I'll Divine Smite that one then.
Is that the sound your sword makes? Is it Divine Smites?
Yes.
This really is a bit of a Sailor Moon thing. I like it.
So different from how I roll my damage dice. Just like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna kick your
That's
ass.
pretty good. So that is... Oh, I should probably roll my base damage too, right?
Yep.
Get it all in.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's not the time to be gentle.
Okay. Well, it's only 4 slashing damage, but it's going to be 17 radiant damage.
So 21 total?
Do you have your
Yes.
modifier included in that?
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
+2.
+2 slashing.
For your strength.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. So, you make your strike, Strong Boris, kind of blocks it with the haft and just says, "Strong Boris, he's too strong for," and then like the fuck you hits him in the face, and seeing your opportunity, you slash up and across his chest. Look, the jumpsuits don't provide much defense, but they provide more than nothing, which is what he has. So you cut just a massive slash across his chest. Just blood showers down upon you as he roars in rage, looking bloodied, if you will. All right, good hit, Juniper. That takes us to
Good assist, Butthole.
Good damage, Juniper. That's for sure.
Alrighty then. What the hell did I write here? Oh, yes. Okay, cool. So one of the guys from the saloon, or not the saloon, sorry, the general store, who is badly burnt, very badly burnt, almost Austin Powers-ish badly burnt, kind of like lowers himself from the second floor and lands with kind of like a whew, and he kind of like, cracks his neck, pulls a club off his back, and just kind of stumbles out into the world. Butthole, you're right there, so I think he's going to go after you. He's looking real rough, though. This was the guy who failed the worst in your burning. So he's going to take a couple swings. He's going to be at disadvantage, though, because he's basically still on fire and is not doing so hot, which means he will miss. So he just swings a club past you, and Wheeze is like, "You'll never stop. Happy meal." Oh. He just yells, "Grum, heals, please, Grum." Bringing us to...
I'm going to guess Grum.
No, Grum already went. Grum summoned that sword. Bringing us to Ginny. Ginny's going to try and... she unfortunately has found that her mechanisms are shattered on this end, so she's quickly working to
Tom, how many fucking people are in this fight? Holy shit.
A lot, Laura. There's a lot, and we're not done.
Holy fuck.
All right,
Not a criticism, just scared.
Yeah, I understand. Quinny, you see, like in a classic like video game where you're defending as a sniper, and you see like the person you're trying to defend. She's clearly got One Piece working.
And is hacking at the computer.
Yeah, exactly. She's running to a different computer, and then she gets stuck on a wall and clips for a bit, and then she moves some more. She's like tapping a gun against her head, and then just typing with fists.
Yeah.
Cool. Bring us to the final initiative of the order. Zombies. The zombies reach the carts. So Ryan, does your power, is it an active power? How does the anti-zombie field work?
I have to activate it, so it does not yet work. So don't worry about it at this point.
Alrighty. So let's see how the wagon train holds up. Ooh, that's a nat 20, so not the best wagon train. Yikes. Okay, so hits all around for our beloved wagon train. All right, that is 7 points of damage to each cart. The farmers kind of fall in to a close defensive line. It's almost like riot, like in a riot scenario where you're just pushing back with batons. So they're kind of doing that, but the zombies are definitely getting strikes in. For them, it's a bit of like it truly is horrifying. These creatures are a nightmare to them, and they to see them this close in a way where they aren't like magically protected by heroes is kind of horrific. A couple of the Treebury people are like screaming because they're seeing their friends and family like attack them in this way. And seeds are beginning to be spilt as bags begin to rupture, and the very lifeblood of the Fortress of Forlorn Hope begins to leak away. Top of this incredibly long round, Quinny Brownbarrow.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons logo is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. The Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Lord Abradovic, Orion Birchfield, Scott Garland, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Cade Peters, Richard Cranium, Anna Zed, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Acrix, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Austin Nut Powers Fry, Stabby Stranger, Roman Brown, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.